Hi there, just thought I'd make a quick video about a modification that was carried out to a Chapman ML1 guitar. It has had its stock pickups removed, and in their place a single Fender twin head modern humbucker has been placed in the bridge position. Let's take a quick look at the pickup and go through it quickly. In the bottom left hand corner of the drawing there, it's a very rough schematic. There are basically three wires that come from the pickup. The blue, which is the signal hot, the green, which is the coil splitting lead, and the black, which is the ground. It is a solderless connection at the back of the humbucker and can be easily removed and reconnected. The second item of interest on the drawing is the volume shadow kill pot made by Shadow in Germany, 500 kilo ohm rating. Which is recommended for humbucking pickups. It's claimed to have a rapid fire kill pot because you can press the volume knob from the front of the guitar very quickly with the palm of the hand, so it gives a sort of machine gun effect. And that's the kill pot. And now we go down to the tone push pull. Basically this will allow you to adjust your tone as normal and will allow you to do the coil splitting. So let's start from the beginning of the circuit. So we start at the humbucker and we follow the blue lead, which is the signal hot. The sort of main signal path, it is brought in on the center connector of the volume shadow kill pot. This is recommended by the makers of the kill pot, so I will not argue with them why they put it there. There must be some technical reason why they feel it's better to go in there. There are different configurations you can do with the wiring, but we won't go into those today. So the main signal then would be passed through the pot and then out through the left connector, and the signal would then go to the jack socket tip and to your amplifier. Now there are a couple of other things on the pot that you must make sure are connected up. As you can notice on the left hand connector, there is another connection above the tab connection that sticks out on the pot. This is in the circuit board that sits on the top of the pot, and there are two little copper bushes, if you like. This one goes into the left hand copper bush, so you have to make a connection also from the tab, the left hand tab, left hand connector on the pot up to this copper bush. There's also one on the right hand side, exactly the same. You make a connection from the tab, right hand connector, up to the little bush on the right, and then you make a further connection from that right hand bush down to ground. Now the way that I think this particular pot would work is that the kill pot is in a normally open position, and when you depress the volume knob at the front of the guitar, that would close the circuit across the resistor. So instead of the signal going back to the jack socket and your amplifier, it would send it straight down to ground, and hence you get the kill silence. And that is how it would work. And anyway, that would make sense to me of how it worked. Okay, let's move on a little bit. So from the center connection, there is also another wire that goes down, a blue wire, that's the signal path, that goes down to the center connector of the tone pot. Now I like to keep my color coding all in line. Blacks are grounds, blues in this case are the signal, because that is the color coding that Fender have used on this particular pickup, and the green is the coil splitter. Now both these come off the wiper, which for those of you who don't know, the center pin or the center connection on each pot is what they call the wiper that wipes across the resistor within the potentiometers. Just have a quick theory lesson here, because this would have helped me understand things a bit better. I'm not a professional electrician or electronics engineer, but when things are explained to me, I understand them a bit better. Now, you'll notice they're basically placed in a mirrored position, and the reason I do this is because it makes it easier to wire up and less messy. But also, it allows me to explain to you how they work. So if we look at the volume pot for a start, from the centre pin to the left-hand pin, when you have your volume turned up to number 10, if you put a multimeter from the centre pin to the left-hand pin, you will find that there's very low resistance, which lets a lot more signal through to the jack socket and your amplifier, giving you that ear blasting sound. And conversely, on the tone pot, when you turn your tone up to number 10, the resistance between the centre connector and the left-hand connector is very high. Now, when it's very high, it means less of the signal is going to go through the capacitor, which is mounted between the left-hand terminal and ground. So therefore you will get more of the higher frequency, or the treble frequency, as we would like to say. When you turn your tone pot down to number 1, you will find that the resistance between the centre and the left-hand terminal on the tone pot is very low. So more of the signal will get passed down through the capacitor to ground, and hence it will filter out more of the high frequencies, or more of the treble. And that's why it sounds a lot bassier when you turn down to number 1. So that's enough of the theory. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the push-pull pot on the tone potentiometer. Okay. Now, if we go back to and have a look at the pickup again, probably the best way to look at this is if you imagine the coil that's at the bottom there, the slug coil, the one without the screw head tops. The signal path ordinarily would go up through the coil in the slug coil. It would then be passed across to the adjustable screw poles in the coil at the top, and then go out through the signal hot wire, which is denoted by the blue cable. That is how the humbucker would normally work. Now then, this green wire, and that incidentally happens because both of these coils, the slug pole coil and the adjustable screw coil, pole coil, are connected in series. In other words, they're connected one after the other in the middle. And that's how the circuit would normally work as a humbucker. Now, with this particular pickup, there is a green wire which is tapped off at the point where these two coils are joined. And it's this that does the magic of basically splitting the coil so that you get that single coil sound, that nice clean cutting sound that you get from a single coil pickup. Now the way it works is this: if you look at the back of the pot for the tone push-pull, you will see a square at the bottom of the pot, and in that square there are 6 vertical lines. These actually represent terminals on the block, and they're not orientated that way as you're looking at them. They actually sit at 90 degrees away from us, so that the top 2 terminals, as you're looking at them there, are closest to the pot, and the bottom 2 terminals are furthest away. Okay, so we're going to connect that lead to the centre of the left-hand terminals, and we're also going to connect a lead from the top left terminal down to ground. Now, when your push-pull tone control is pushed in, that green lead is connected to the bottom terminal, which goes nowhere. So in other words, if you imagine your signal travelling from your slug pole coil, it comes up, it can't go through the green because the green's going nowhere, so it gets passed up to the blue adjustable screw poles, and then out through the blue. So it acts as a humbucker. Now then, when you pull that tone control out, this then connects the green down to ground, which is the top of those left-hand connectors that you see there. Now what happens here is the signal that is created within the slug coil is then, instead of being passed on to the adjustable coil, it is passed down through the green lead down to ground. Hence, it basically switches it off. So the only coil that you will hear is the adjustable pole coil, the one with the straight head screwdriver slots in the poles. Okay, so that's basically how that works. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, and thanks for listening.